English, yeah, English.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm James, and I'm
Gumbo.
Gumbo. For those of you that do, you'll know me as Gumsy. I've been living in Canada for the last 6 years, and I've developed a bit of a dodgy accent. As Euan so kindly pointed out last week when he was one of my best men at my wedding.
No.
So please bear with me and save the abuse for after the speech.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, too loud there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew, also known as Scandy. And I'm the second half of this Best Man double act. Now I've had the pleasure of knowing both Nicky and Euan over the years. We went to high school together, attended many a Gibson household party, school party. Papa give sorry, Mama give sorry. And yeah, I've been somewhat of a thorn in Euan's side over the years, I'd say. We went to university together, we've had many a part-time job together, we've sold ice cream, greasy spoon workers, builders, and then we lived together as well. So yeah, but what he also didn't mention, I feel so tired and I look probably a bit run down. Someone might need to nudge Cal and Mark because we had to stay on this marquee floor last night to make sure no one robbed the place. So yeah, the things you do. Yeah, Nicky, you look absolutely incredible today. I'm sure everyone agrees. It makes a change. Nice to see you in our tracksuit as well.
Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for coming out to celebrate Euan and Nicole's wedding. They are truly touched that so many of their friends and family came out today to be a part of their special day. I'm honoured to be able to stand here and say a few words on behalf of Euan and Nicole. I've known both of them since we started high school together just under 18 years ago. Nicole and I started high school in the same class together. As you might gather by the way Nicole looks today, all the boys chased after her in high school. Nicole, you probably remember how we used to leave love notes for you in the friends recording booth. And as you brought up last week, I'm deeply sorry for that devastating Stone Cold Stunner. It definitely wasn't one of my prouder moments. Obviously, Euan and I go way back. We went to high school together, university, we were flatmates, we travelled, and we even went to our first concert together, which definitely wasn't Bon Jovi. When Euan told me how many people would be here today, I was also a little bit intimidated, but I wasn't really surprised. They are two of the most charismatic and outgoing people you will ever meet, and I think the number of people here today is a testament to how well liked the two of them are. We are all delighted to be here to celebrate the love for one another. And of course, we all want to see Euan do his standard party night routine of wrapping a tie around his head and going skins under his coat jacket later. There are a few special thank yous that I have to mention before we go on. Thank you to Nicole's family, Jackie, Doug, and Margot, and to Euan's family, Morag, Neil, Roger, and Gillian, for helping to put on this fantastic event. I'd like to thank the bridesmaids, Katie, Vicky, Sheila, Alice, Ailey, and of course the flower girl, Lucy. You all look beautiful, and I know you did a lot of work at the scenes to help out, so thank you. Also, a big thanks to the groomsmen, Dougie, Cammy, Jamie, and Cal, for keeping everything running smoothly, apart from the kilts. Nicole, you look absolutely beautiful. I know you have put in an unbelievable amount of effort to organise today.
Sorry about the balloons.
Euan's role has obviously been limited, as he is still in therapy sessions for taking on a dog. everyone will be pleased to know he's doing better and he is through the worst of it. Joking aside, they have both put in an unbelievable amount of effort, and I'm sure everyone can agree that it's all been worth it. It really has been an amazing day so far. I'd like to raise a quick toast to everyone that helped organise what you see here today. Now, with the pleasantries out of the way, we'd like to move on to the moment you've all been waiting for, the main event, the roasting of Euan.
Yes, we've all been looking forward to this moment, although some a little more than others. Now, our group of friends show affection to each other in a rather unusual way, in that we verbally assault each other. As I'm sure you can imagine, Euan is usually right in the mix of this. So to be standing up here today with kind of a somewhat of a free swinger to him is quite something. Now, having spent a fair bit of time with Euan over the years, I've learned a number of things about him. First thing is, if you're living with him, you won't need an alarm clock. Because most mornings you'll get woken up by a foghorn coming from his bedroom. Oh, George. Another thing about him, he's got a very distorted opinion of his skills and attributes. For instance, he thinks he's the picture of health. He thinks he's fighting fit, when in reality, he's usually always ill. He's rarely out of Dr. Cosworth's waiting room. And most of the time, he's a coughing, spluttering mess, whinging about his sore sinuses. Now, this warped perception has led to some rather amusing stories over the years. One such moment was the lovely Ellie Mark's 21st birthday party. Now, Euan, he thinks he's a bit of a charmer, a bit of an all-round dish, a bit of a catch. He made quite the entrance that night, and he burst into the party, which had some of Ellie Mark's older relatives in attendance, with a naked blow-up sex doll on his shoulders, called Mustafa Shag. And Mustafa was, shall we say, more than up for the occasion. Now, it was at this point that Euan made a beeline for the buffet, as he did at most parties at this point in his life, because he's a bit of a curvier girl. And Ailey's poor stepmom entered the fray at this point. Wrong time, wrong place. Now, Euan introduced himself with a cheeky smile, kiss in the hand, and he pulled away thinking, "Oh, I think I've nailed the old charming, good-looking, mysterious." But he kind of looked around, and the group there were looking around rather uncomfortably to witness this exchange. And in his haste to demolish the buffet, what he failed to notice that a lot of the pastry had kind of gathered around his mouth. The poor woman looked down to her hand to see a ball of saliva and pastry on the back of her hand, which she then had to rather uncomfortably wipe off. So I've seen there's a bit of pastry in the buffet, so ladies, let's just settle for a handshake for this Friday.
Now, Euan wasn't always quite the charmer. For those of you that knew Euan and I growing up, many of you might be surprised that I'm standing here today, given the amount of scraps that we had with one another. We had the mutual pleasure of slagging each other off, and this would usually escalate until one of us would snap. Usually Euan. I'd be here all day if I told you about all of our scuffles, but there are a couple that immediately come to mind. I remember a tussle at the bottom of the CDT stairs involving a thrown fruit shoot ball. I think I had you until the gully boys jumped in. And I definitely remember walking out of Longnisry Golf Club with brown sauce all down my brand new white golf trousers. But the incident that sticks in my mind the most involves a snowball and a North Berwick Fry pizza special. It had been snowing, and we were on our daily march down the high street for lunch. We were all chucking snowballs in the lodge, and I guess at some point I lost my balance and fell over. Euan, who was not one to miss an opportunity, thought that this would be the ideal time to dump a gigantic ice boulder right on me. I was spitting with rage, but I knew I had to bide my time in order to get him back, and I knew exactly how I was going to do it. If you knew Euan in high school, then you would have known that a pizza special and a bottle of Iron Brew was part of his daily ritual. On this day, like any other day, he left the chip shop with a glittering smile on his face as he unwrapped the newspaper around the special. The steam was hitting his face as he chowed down in sheer delight. That was until I came charging in with a slushy snowball and planted it right in the bullseye of his special. As you can imagine, he lost it. The special was thrown, and even a few punches if I remember it.
Now it's quite funny you should mention a story about Euan fighting Gumsy, because believe it or not, this upstanding pillar of the community, he actually finds himself as a bit of a brawler back in the day. And believe it or not, he actually had a 100% record when it came to fighting. And he probably had about 10 fights, 10 defeats. But his retirement from the fight game, that was enough to make any grown man wince. Now, picture the scene. We'd all been on our tri-weekly university night out, which consisted of going around to Euan and Gumsy's flat with some cocktails. When I say cocktails, I mean 3 litres of Frosty Jacks with a splash of blackcurrant. And we'd then go on to hit the most exclusive nightclub in town, called Liquid, where we'd feast on £1 Blue Wickeds. Now, we were by no means a group of lady killers back at university, so most of our nights out, we'd end up at one of Aberdeen's finest chip shops. It's no wonder with this diet of bottled sugar and greasy food that we all turned disgustingly overweight. And it was actually one of Euan's probably finest achievements at university, was he formed a kind of fat fighters club for all the boys, where we'd all go down to the swimming pool, squeeze onto our trunks, and then do some much needed cardio. So anyway, back to the night in question. So we're in this chip shop, getting our late night bit of grease, and in true fight style, he befriended some young couple, and for some reason the conversation got a bit more heated, and he ended up outside with a young lady from this couple. And at this point, all the guys that got the chips, they're sitting in the chip shop, box seats, big window, watching as Euan kind of he was erratically moving, shouting, and then what ensued was a masterclass in street brawling. Unfortunately for Euan, it was from the young lady. Now, this young lady was one of Aberdeen's finest females in that she placed an order, probably, feed her family 6 for a week. She was as wide as she was wide as she was tall, and she unleashed a flurry of haymakers on Euan. All he could do, he was standing there going, "Jello, Jello." So to the delight of the baying mob, she was taking chunks out of him, and she left him on the street with his shirt ripped off his back. It was after this fateful night that Euan hung up his fight gloves with his 100% record intact, saving the knowledge that a career in MMA wasn't for him.
And so Euan began the hunt for a new career path. Before Euan eventually found his calling and decided to follow in the footsteps of his idol, our high school PE teacher, Mr. Jeffries. and become a PE teacher himself, he did in fact think about becoming a police officer. He applied, and he even got through the first application stage.
Woo!
However, he decided that it wasn't for him, and he wanted to pursue his real passion for teaching instead. Even though this is clearly what Euan wanted to do for a career, I can't help but think his decision to turn down the police had something to do with his brother Dougie in a pair of handcuffs. I think we were around 15, and I just saved up 2 weeks' paper and money, and I decided that a pair of handcuffs would be a great investment. A few days later, I went around to hang out at Euan's house, and I brought them with me. We needed a victim to cuff, and the younger brother was the obvious target. A great opportunity seemed to present itself when Dougie, fresh from his shower, came marching up the stairs to his bedroom. Euan, who obviously had the police instincts from Roger, wrapped one of the coffees in Dougie's arm and proceeded to march him to his bedroom. It's not quite that dodgy. Dougie didn't seem too concerned at the time. That was until Euan attached the other end of the cuff by his window and then pulled away his towel. Now, for those of you that don't know where Morag and Neil's house is, it's located right on Main Street, Gallen. After Euan and I banged on the window to alert everyone in the area, let's just say the granny waiting for the bus across the street got a bit of an eyeful. I think this was probably the last time Euan got the better of his brother. I'm reliably informed by Shugi Watt and Al Watt that Dougie got his revenge in the form of a public wedgie outside the old clubhouse in Gallen. I think Euan learned two things from this experience. One, his days of the bigger brother role were probably over. And two, his future probably shouldn't involve handcuffs.
So, Euan finally found his calling as a PE teacher. Cue a lifetime of strike action, non-stop holidays, and generally whinging about how hard teachers have to work. I think there's a teacher's table here somewhere, sorry. All joking aside, you've done incredibly well, mate, and you've turned into a brilliant teacher. Very proud of you.
Oh.
What I'm not so proud of are some of the horrendous haircuts Fat's had over the years. But Euan certainly isn't one to stand out from the crowd. I mean, you know, that white polo he drove in school was very understated, especially with the white zebra print cow covers, and the fluffy dice in the mirror. Also, I think it's pretty normal for most grown men to wear a set of retainers and have to slurp after every second word. Now, I'm not sure I can do justice just how bad some of Euan's haircuts were. I mean, we're talking bleached mohawk, we're talking frosted tips, we're talking a skinhead, we're talking a straightened boy band mop, which he complemented with a bit of fake tan. You think somebody with the nickname Fathead wouldn't want to draw attention to the size of their cranium? Yeah, you'd be mistaken. Euan also touched upon his earrings earlier on. He also had a nice diamond stud earring at one point in his life. Yeah. Not the kind of faux pas you make twice in your life, you'd think, but you'd be wrong, because he also spent a summer with a pink smiley face earring in his ear as well. Don't mention that me and Cal also had one. Oh, it's no wonder that after all the punishment his hair's taken, it's hoisted the white flag and decided to do a timely retreat. Euan actually said he wants to get this wedding done as soon as possible, so he actually had hair in the pictures. I think the photographers are going to have their work cut out. But all joking aside, it's probably time to say something nice about Euan. Gumbo.
Euan and Nicole have been together for a number of years now, and they have seemed to have found their soulmates in one another. However, if you had told the North Berwick HE gang 18 years ago that today's wedding was going to happen, I don't think anyone would have believed you. Put it this way, Euan has had to put in some serious effort to be able to sit next to the beautiful Nicole here today. I'd have to compare the beginning of the relationship to the movie Just Friends. High school student Euan, played by a chubby Ryan Reynolds from loves his best friend Nicole Gibson. After many a dog walk and tea and biscuits in Tinningham, he finally confesses his feelings, but she tells him that she just wants to be friends. Now in the film, 10 years later, Ryan Reynolds is handsome, lives in Los Angeles, is a womanizer who's dated supermodels and socialites, and works as a highly successful record producer. Euan, on the other hand, had just left a career of flipping burgers at the North Berwick Sports Centre, and had headed to university to play Mario Kart, snort Lucozade, and perfect his Gabrielle-style comb-over with his GHD straighteners. Now it does relate back to the film here. He still pines for Nicole, and he is determined to win her over. He moves back home, and through sheer persistence, he's able to convince her that despite his questionable dress sense, which has included a denim jacket with a popped-up collar that even John Travolta would be proud of, and male Ugg boots with shorts. That he is the one for her. Now, as I've been living abroad for the last 6 years, I haven't been able to see them grow together. But as soon as Euan told me they had gotten together, I knew it was going to work out for them. I couldn't be happier that two of my long-term friends have found one another, and to be able to be part of their big day after so many years is really quite special.